Okay.
Because we were just watching that Key Peele episode.
Yeah, I love Key Peele.
When did you first start watching? What was
Key Peele?
Yeah.
Whoa. I want to say, I don't know if it's the first skit that I saw or the first, like, introduction to them, but I just remember the specific skit of the substitute teacher.
Oh, yeah. The most famous one, yeah.
Yeah, that's, like, their most famous one, and, like, I think that was my... I don't know if that was my first Key Peele skit, but I know that's, like, the one I really, really remember as being one of the first ones that I saw, and I just loved them from then on.
I think mine was, like, probably some random one. It's not the teacher one. For me, I think it's probably the football one, where they're just going over the stupid names of the different NFL players.
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's, like, the second most popular one.
Or maybe I haven't. I just don't remember. Like, I have kind of a bad memory, so...
It's just, like, the whole skit is just them switching through different wigs and different, like, facial hair and crap, and then they're saying different names of, like, really strange, like, well, anyways, like, weird NFL player names. But it's probably, definitely their second most. But I think I my first initial one was probably some random one, and then me recognizing them from Mad TV. Because exactly. And I was like...
You know what? That was my first... I think that was my first introduction to them. It wasn't through Key and Peele. It was through Mad TV. And then Key and Peele. Yeah, I love them on Mad TV.
Yeah. Because I think I probably saw an interview too, or like just saw the thumbnail somewhere, and then went back to Mad TV and literally saw old episodes.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it like bothered me so much. I was like, what do I know their faces, but I couldn't tell you what their names are, like what they've been in.
Yeah.
And then I saw like some of their old stuff, and man, like they were like... some of my favorite stuff from Mad TV. It's like, I think what started my love of sketch comedy. Like, did you watch it when you were younger?
Yeah, Mad TV. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's weird. I find that weird because a lot of people haven't. And for me, I get it. The thing is always, like, for me, it's always, well, I have older siblings, so then I was always raised around watching, like, late night TV, and they exposed me to a lot of, like, I guess, adult humor early on. So that makes sense for me, but what did you start?
Okay, I don't think I watched Mad TV when it was, like, poppin', you know, like, when it was at its height, because... Yeah, I don't have older siblings. Like, why would I ever be watching it? But I was introduced.
You're just watching it.
I was introduced to
like,
Mad TV through YouTube.
Okay.
So like when I was in like,
it must have been later.
I think I was in like grade 7, 8ish at that point, and where like YouTube was becoming more popular, and I would watch. You remember like Bong Kui and like.
I just love to hear you say that.
Bong Kui.
There you go.
Yo, Bong Kui was, and like, and can I have your number? Like those skits.
Yeah.
From those are like, you know, from Mad TV. So like we kind of, those are from Mad TV, right? Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, it's not SNL. That's not SNL.
No. I'm pretty sure they were Mad TV.
Yep.
And like from that's how I learned of Mad TV and saw other skits.
Okay.
But like those are my 2 favorite skits. I watched them like time and time again, and I at one point I knew every single like line in Bong Kui.
Oh my god.
I even knew the rap at the end.
Oh my god.
Like, on the mic is the queen, now listen to me sing. She wants a number 3 supersized onion ring. Like, I knew the entire thing.
You're killing that. You just had that. You just had that in your back pocket ready.
Yeah, I know it. Like, I still reach in there. And I remember once, I don't know why we thought this was a good idea, but like once me and remember Sarah?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sarah,
yeah. So me and her decided that we wanted to record our own Bong Kui.
Are you kidding?
So we grabbed she was at my house. We grabbed my dad's camcorder, and we recorded. It was just us 2, and we just switched roles. I think I deleted it. It's really embarrassing.
Oh, I was just gonna say.
No, I don't think it's out there anymore.
Oh my god!
But it was like we knew all the lines, and it was like.
It was
embarrassing.
That was so weird because I just went through like a very happy moment there, and then to very sad when he told me it's not there anymore.
No, I'm pretty sure I got rid of that. Like it was embarrassing. We probably should get a move on.
But thanks for listening to us, guys. I think it's our first podcast that we're in for right now. So I'm Razia speaking right now, and I'm here with Mom.
Yes, hello. And you are listening to the Talkaholics podcast. This is as Razia mentioned, our first episode. So before we go into our episode for today, we wanted to talk about, why we started a podcast, because, not everybody does that. Not everybody does that.
And not everybody who's listening to us might not know who we are. I guess our first couple episodes, it probably is going to be our friends listening to us in the first go-rounds. But if you're a newbie and have no idea who we are, well, I'm Razia and this is Iman, and we just wanted to start a podcast because we've been making kind of creative stuff on the side for a while together.
Since, the end of high school?
Yeah, almost. Holy crap.
Yeah, wow. Which is, 5 years ago?
Oh, my... I did that. I just literally took that in.
Yeah, we've always had this urge to have a creative outlet, and sometimes that's not always possible because we're in school or we have jobs, and our jobs aren't technically creative. Yeah. So
and there you go.
We were we
we're
gotta start
deprived
something
in our daily lives.
Yes,
from creativity. Yeah, and we started off by making a couple of things. I think initially we were just kind of meeting at every other restaurant and writing down ideas and just laughing at each other, and then we wrote up a couple, I think 1 or 2 skits, or I think the only one that got filmed was the one for Greenlight Productions. Yeah, that was when we were in university. That actually got filmed and was put up too, but it was just we needed something more consistent, something that we could do. That took minimal production that we could do all the time, that was fun for us, and I think the podcast was a good place to start, and hopefully we hope that this would spring into something else.
And we definitely noticed that whenever we got together we were always having these great conversations. I mean, great in our eyes. These great conversations and talking about every little thing from pop culture to politics to just daily life. And so we were if we have these conversations and we're having a good time, why don't we just do it for an audience and see how it goes?
Exactly. And we a lot of the similar topics, you just mentioned, not just comedy and stuff. We have the similar taste in music and stuff, but also with and some things that are more serious and political and more analytic, I guess, in terms of because we both doing that stuff, and we can get pretty artsy. So if you like that stuff, stick around and you'll see, as this podcast grows and becomes something else. I think early on too, you kind of have to be aware as well that we're going to be experimenting with things. So we're going to kind of be fumbling over ourselves. We're going to be testing out stuff with both the visuals and the logo stuff for the podcast, and as well as the format for the podcast itself. So I'm excited about this though, because I just want to see where this takes us. Right now we're kind of leveraging off of podcasts that we love and and listen to on a daily basis, and then kind of ripping that off more or less until we can kind of find what works for us.
We called ourselves the Talkaholics for a reason, and it's gonna show a lot in the beginning because we literally just talk from topic to topic, and there may not be a rhyme or reason to what we say and our structure, but as we go on, it's gonna get better. So we hope that you guys stick around and have fun and listen to us talk.
Exactly. I think it's just almost a good hobby for us for the time being until we kind of get our footing and realize what exactly we want to do. And hopefully we can bring on other people too.
That's the plan.
Yeah, it won't just be us. Initially I think just to get us off the ground, it'll be us kind of talking about things in pop culture that are hot and are trending at the moment. But I think hopefully down the line we can start bringing artists in or different people that we know from even our personal lives to kind of help us push the conversation and other funny people.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to get creative with it. Add different segments and just try to have some fun out here. And I think we're gonna try to upload once a week.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
See it with a question mark at the end.
Crossing my fingers. We both have our own jobs and lives that are insane right now. But we do what we can. So yeah. But
we hope that you guys enjoy. Yeah. This is just a little intro to us, and I'm sure you're gonna learn more and more about us and our views on everything, and our future episodes. So, anyways, we hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
Our first episode.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
This way. Have you seen? I guess we'll get into one of the topics that I was thinking about for the past few weeks, and I've been waiting to see you to talk about it. Okay. Because I know you'll have an opinion, and I have an opinion, and then we're gonna lose our minds over this. But have you seen Childish Gambino's "This Is America"?
You're gonna hate me, but I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen
No, I know.
Should we put this podcast on hold just to be let me show her?
Well, I think I need to watch it. Yeah. No, you know why I haven't seen it?
Why haven't you seen it?
I saw, like, when it came out, I was like, yes, I was so ready. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this. And then, but the thing is, like, I come home from work so tired. And then I just sleep.
You don't have your priorities set up, right?
And then I've seen, like, clips of it on Twitter, and then I've seen, like, the remade clips of it when they put it to a different song. Yeah. It's really funny.
So that's what you see, but not the actual thing.
No, but like I know that. Okay, let's watch it. Let's go.
We'll put it on pause.
Can I say though that Childish Gambino, like he can really move his body. I was surprised. Is that SZA?
I like that you recognize that. It took me a while. That's it.
Well, damn.
What is that?
Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh, that's another thing we need to talk about.
Okay.
You never heard this song?
No.
Okay, let's talk about it later though.
Okay. Well, I think we should just start our podcast here then. Thanks for joining us. It's me, Razia, speaking, and Iman's joining us as well. But I wanted to talk about Childish Gambino's "This Is America" video, which you just watched this now.
Yeah, I'm a little late. Sorry, guys.
But because I'm really happy about not that just that Childish Gambino made a song like this. It's not kind of out of his realm to make a video like this.
Yeah.
Or a song. But just the kind of traction that it got when it first got out, people were talking about it like crazy. Yeah. And it was
everywhere.
Yeah, it was everywhere. People wanted to like know more about the music video.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, like when like in the 90s, like music videos used to mean as much as the song used to,
especially like in terms, well, I think in every music genre, but especially with hip hop and rap, like with the roots of hip hop and rap came struggle and came like, you know, it was a way of expression of what was going on at the time, which I think is kind of watered down a bit now. Exactly. But yeah, like I like that it's kind of going back to its roots, kind of.
For sure. No, yeah. So this is like the first time it's not just the song that was big; it was the music video, and people were wanting to like analyze the crap out of this thing, and like proper articles were going out about like finding out the meaning and stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
because there was a lot of like references in there that refer to cultural or historical things that happened in the past, and people were recognizing them, and then so that makes you want to know more. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Which is great for me. Like, I love whenever that happens. Like, when people almost get like literary about stuff. Yeah. And just want to break crap down.
Yeah, I always want to do that. Yeah, so it's nice when other people want to do that.
Exactly. Like, I don't feel as weird.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what's been making me like the most happy about this. But I want to know, since you just watched it, like, what are your first reactions? Like, what do you think?
I don't know if it's bad to say that I enjoyed it because obviously the message isn't a happy message. Yeah. But I enjoyed it because it's a realistic message. And it's kind of like, I don't know, for people who are maybe a little asleep. Yeah. It's a wake-up call. And I especially recently with all the gun violence in the States, like it's definitely something that's supposed to hit you in the, like, it's like a punch in the face kind of thing. Yeah. Like, wake up, this is what's happening. Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I've been like obsessively reading articles and stuff about this, and like I've like been thinking of like maybe even writing up something of my own, just because you're so like it's so easy to go through this music video thinking it's very simple, because there are pretty simple elements to this.
Yeah, like setting kind of stays the same.
Yeah, and he's the focus of it. Yeah. There's no real like necessarily like a narrative or anything. He's just kind of the main focus.
But I think that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love the simplicity about it. So like the way that I saw it is that I think the most obvious like story or message being told in the video is that like throughout the whole music video, he's like doing very besides the beginning, he's doing very mainstream like dance moves.
Exactly.
Like the whole thing.
Yeah. Just, and I think that was to make a point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's like chaos in the background, and while like the guns he's using get taken care of so well. Like they're basically held with like velvet cloth, I think.
And then
but meanwhile, like the only thing that we're really listening to or watching, is his dancing. His really like trendy dance.
Yeah,
with a bunch of other
little kids.
Yeah. So that's like the probably the biggest like metaphor for America is like entertainment kind of goes.
Yeah, we're also caught up. In all the new trendy
entertainment
things going
first
on. Exactly.
Before anything, and I think there's so many smart, sneaky stuff. Like if you see here, like that there was a white horse in the background that just comes into.
I didn't even notice that.
That just comes into one of the scenes where And I like where it's placed, actually, because there's, like, a cop car right next to it, and then the white horse comes by. Because it's just, like, a nice touch to say, like, this has been going on for a while. This is, like, history. Like, before cop cars, it was white horses. Like, And, like, the color contrast and stuff, like, just it being, like, a white structure versus a bunch of, black characters in the front. Like, I thought that was, like, there's so many, like, small nuances.
Yeah, and also, like, throughout the whole video, he's, like, his expression is either very, like, neutral or very, like, not happy, but, like,
no, he didn't
amused.
Yeah,
and then at the end you see, like, fear, like when he's running, right?
And he's almost playing a character.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a lot of like, I guess the biggest thing that people were catching was his pose when he shot the first guy. It was a very Jim Crow type gesture.
It was, like, in a publication.
Yeah. So there's that image that's been, like, contrasted with him throughout the whole thing. Like, there's just so much that was happening in that video. Like, I think too, like, there's always discussions, especially with how black people are treated in American media, is that lack of attention to black bodies.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's shirtless, I think that there's just a point there that he's trying to make. So I like just small things, small decisions that he made, and I think the last scene too was, like, definitely a reference to, you've seen Get Out, right?
Oh yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Definitely. It's like probably the most direct reference to the sunken place scene in Get Out. And I don't know if you know, but actually Childish Gambino's song Breadbone was the first song to play in Get Out.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a, like, nice little comeback. It's like almost like a
it's like a circle
thing.
Did you hear, random side note, but did you hear that Jordan Peele is writing a new film?
Yeah, I know he isn't he doing is it a TV show or a movie?
I think it's a movie.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a movie because I'm pretty sure it's another, like, horror film.
Oh, okay. Is it a follow-up? Is it Get Out 2?
No, it's not. I can't remember what it's called, but I know that it has very, like, well-known black actors.
Oh, the people have already casted it?
I don't know if they're casted or if it's just, like, a hint that we're looking at these people to be casted. I can't remember what it's called.
Here, wait, I'm gonna find it out. Just give us a second. Jordan new movie. No, but so yeah, I think it's.
This is Us. Us. Yeah,
okay.
That's what it's called.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
And there's a poster. Yeah. And
already? Oh my god.
It's because it's coming out next year.
Okay, hold on. This is crazy. So I was just like, I mean that last scene.
Yeah, Winston Dugan and Lupita Nyong'o and yeah.
Oh, Elizabeth Moss. Yeah, I heard her. She was on it because I love her. She's on Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, so I guess Lupita Nyong'o is not official, but.
Wow, that's ridiculous, and I'm so happy for him. I mean, we're both. I think
yes.
we've been like every time we meet up, I think we almost talk about at least Key Peele once.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's in front of our first podcast is almost suitable.
Yes.
To talk about Jordan Peele. Because
I love him.
I just think, like, the fact that he started something like Get Out, which would have been, I think, a few years back even, like, give it, like, 5 years before would have been controversial and would have been seen as offensive. But to kind of start this now wave of this kind of very openly political media, like, first Jordan Peele, now Childish Gambino, like, it'll follow with so much other stuff after this. I just think...
Like, I know from our perspective it makes sense, right? Like, we're thinking... movies are supposed to somewhat mirror reality, and this is a reality, right?
Yeah, so or of be course, some sort of commentary,
or of reality. But, like, for other people, I guess it's like that's not our reality, so it doesn't need to be talked about.
Yeah.
But no, it needs to be talked about.
Yeah, and I still think people, I'm sure many, like, white audiences who've watched Get Out probably saw it as problematic or kind of felt uncomfortable, at least.
Well, I hope they felt uncomfortable. Yeah. That's the point of the film.
And that whole movie, oh my god, I could go into, like...
Oh, I love that movie.
I can go into, like, talk about a movie that has a lot of nitty-gritty stuff and smart placements of, like, symbolic things that always start at that beginning and come back at the end. So, okay, so I guess, like, one of the things, I don't know if you remember, because I actually watched it relatively recently. Like, I didn't watch it when it was at its height.
I watched it not when it first came out, because I was in the Netherlands still at that time.
Yeah.
So it came out later in the Netherlands. So I saw the premiere in Netherlands, but it was like a month or so after it came out.
Okay. Yeah, so no, I took a while. Because, I mean, well, I don't know if you know this actually, but I don't do well with horror movies. And like,
oh, me neither.
Okay.
But the thing is, I don't think like it wasn't that much of a horror movie.
It wasn't really. No.
It wasn't like paranormal. Yeah. I can't do paranormal stuff. No way. No. No. One time I saw Paranormal Activity. I had to sleep with my grandma for 15 days. I couldn't.
You counted the days.
15 days. I couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh.
But this one was more like it was a little gory, so I had to cover my eyes sometimes because especially the end.
Yeah.
Of the movie.
That's what I was gonna say. The end bit's really the only actual traditional horror part to me. But I still like kind of pushed it back because I knew what it was about, like very like it's just a summary of it, I guess, and I just didn't want to watch it. His writing in that movie, I'm so happy he won the Oscar for screenwriting too, was just so clean, and there's so many like small things again that he's saying. Like, I don't know if you remember. So one of the first scenes in the movie starts with him hitting that deer, and then him getting out and kind of looking at it, and then there's I guess a moment of him feeling bad or whatever. So that kind of actually comes back at the very end of the movie that I didn't realize until, again, like what I normally do after watching movies like that. I kind of do my own research to kind of figure out what was the intent here. So in the spoilers, if you haven't watched it,
well, too bad for you because you should have watched it by now.
Iman has no sympathy for
No.
But at the end of the movie, or closer to the end, there's that courthouse-looking scene where he's kind of strapped to the chair, and he's like in front of the TV watching that teacup thing. Yeah. Above that TV is
the deer head.
Is the deer head, which is the reference back, right? So the deer starts off as being more or less a victim to something and gets killed, but he actually, if you remember, uses that deer to kill the father. Yeah. Which is like small things like that make me like so happy. And like even in that same scene where he's like he actually is able to escape because he uses the stuffing from the chair in his ears, but he's literally picking cotton in the, you know what I'm saying, like things he did on purpose to make sure like was in the movie. Like I could dissect that whole movie like for hours, and I don't think people would like to hear that for so long. But just stuff like that I was like, that's, you know, I miss that in movies sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes I watch movies and I'm like, what did I get out of that? Yeah. I just sat here and felt numb.
It was pure entertainment.
Yeah. Well, but like, is it entertainment? Are you entertained if you're just sitting there? You know what I mean? Like, no. Is it really entertaining if you haven't been stimulated in
some way? This is
such
a philosophical topic.
I know. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there's always two kinds of movies, right? I feel like Marvel movies are often given that, you know, it's just pure like candy, you know, entertainment. Yeah. It's almost like the junk food of movies, right? It's just there for your pleasure, more or less. Yeah. But then there's movies like, you know, Jordan Peele comes out and like a few other movies, or even TV shows like Handmaid's Tale. I think I've talked to you about it before. You have,
and I haven't started it. I feel like I should, but like,
which I find like it's like the Jordan Peele kind of a movie or TV show, whatever. Yeah. In terms of like making you think after each episode, you know. Mm-hmm. So that, I mean, if you guys haven't watched it already, Handmaid's Tale is a really good show. I think it's on Hulu, and it's based off obviously the Margaret Atwood novel. It is a little dark. Like I think I gave you the forewarning of like it's probably the most graphic TV show I've watched. Period. I think because I don't watch Game of Thrones, so maybe
I watched the first season of Game of Thrones and I was a little shocked. Yeah. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
So I probably wouldn't do Handmaid's just because it is like it. Yeah. Like that show is explicit to a point though. Like it's not just there to.
Just to be explicit.
Yeah. It's purposeful, and it's very feminist, so I know that there's a specific audience for that, but great show, like amazing. So if you ever end up watching it, we're having like a whole podcast dedicated for that. Yeah. Because it's great. But no, I did want to also talk about the royal wedding. Did you actually, were you the ones to get up on 4
No, but you don't, okay, listen.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm not losing my sleep over this. I'm great, fine, they're getting married, but okay. Like, that's great. But okay, this is what I was feeling before the wedding actually happened, right? Okay. So obviously here in Toronto, everybody's getting up at 4 a.m. My aunt, she got up. Plus, okay, we're fasting, right? So, I mean, you're getting up already at like 3 a.m. to eat. So my aunt, she got up to eat. She said she dressed up, put a nice hat on.
Did she really?
She put a nice hat on, and then she sat in front of the TV and watched the entire wedding.
Oh my gosh.
And I was, when she told me that, I have no idea.
It must be like at least 4 hours.
I have no idea, but I was shocked because like that same day we went over to her house for iftar, so I was hearing about this later.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're crazy. What?
Just imagine her home alone. Like, it's practically
she's just
still
sitting
dark
on the
out.
couch.
It's still dark out. She's all fancied up like the.
But no, I mean like, but then they, CNN like was replaying the wedding, right? So like they replayed the whole entire wedding. So when we were at her house, it was on CNN when we were watching. I didn't watch the entire thing, but like just the part where, she was like, getting out of the car. And she was, but like I felt a little bit of emotion when they were like looking at each other. I know, that's cute.
I know.
Like that was a little cute, cute.
No,
but other than that, I was like, I don't care. But did you hear about the preacher? The preacher that was like, he was giving like a sermon, and everybody was trying not to laugh because he was really, really preaching. He was enthusiastic. He was very enthusiastic. He was like this older black man, and he was really trying to give them, some knowledge. And everybody was just like sitting, like, can you just imagine these like English people with their hats, their whatever those called, the hat toppers or whatever. I can't remember what they're called. There's a name for them.
Okay, well, there's
fasteners. They're called fasteners. I don't know why I know this. But with their fasteners, and they're just sitting properly, like, trying not to laugh as he, like, preaches to them.
Oh my god.
It's really funny.
Oh my god. I didn't actually watch it myself either, but the next morning I obviously woke up to, like, Instagram pictures of, like, just her dress and, the classic picture of her looking at him and that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then I think that was, like, obviously the best part of the whole thing, I think. Like, there's a lot of scrutiny, obviously, she's getting for her dress, more or less, because it was super
so simple. Like, but I liked it.
Simple. I am, like, on the fence.
I liked it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like for what they paid for the wedding, she could have probably did a little bit more.
That's where my head goes, yeah.
But, yeah, it was... did you hear how much she paid for her makeup?
$18,000.
Oh my god!
Which was like, and I bet
and
the products that were used.
She probably just put a little bit of foundation on and some eyeliner and mascara and walked out. I'm mad. What?
I was telling my sisters, like, I'm pretty sure, like, even the products that she used did not even amount anywhere close to $18,000. You're telling me that that's it. But I liked her makeup, to be honest. I thought I liked it.
It suited her. It's very nice. You can still see her nice little freckles.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she was very beautiful. Yeah. But like, what goes through my mind is the amount of money they paid.
Yeah.
Like.
And $300,000 for the dress. Like, I could go to my tailor today and get something very similar for, like,
much cheaper. It's just okay. Yeah. Well, when my mind, I don't know about you, but when I hear about like rich people spending a lot of money, my mind just goes to where the money could have actually gone in terms of people who have no money, and then I get mad.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, like, I understand to an extent that like when people like celebrities or whatever, like, or that have worked hard for their money, like they're doing a job, they're actors, actresses, singers, performers, entertainers, whatever. They worked hard, they've earned their money, so yes, they can go out and buy expensive things for themselves. I understand that, but sometimes it's a little too much, and I feel like I'm gonna get into this huge thing because I'm very passionate about this. But like, world hunger is the most solvable issue right now. It is the most solvable. Like, all you need to do. Well, okay, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this or try to be very like. I'm not trying to downplay people's issues. Obviously, world hunger. There's more to it than just hunger. There's people who have no homes. But I'm saying in terms of like resources and food, like. People should just get, like, you know what I mean? Like, we took resources. We are capable of giving back these resources and still being wealthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it just...
I know. And I know. And that's the thing whenever I hear people going, like, oh, well, she chose the dress to kind of, make it less about the aesthetics and stuff, make it more about her and Harry and stuff. I'm like,
so then maybe you should have paid $500 for that dress instead of paying $300,000.
That's exactly where my head was.
What?
Like, this doesn't work. Like, and I don't think if you're at a point where you're getting like you're in a royal wedding, there's no way to. I'm sorry, escape. I am
so sorry.
That's okay. There's no way to escape the spotlight. Then, like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of hard to say I'm being modest while you're the center of attention for like the world.
At the same time, I understand it. Maybe I don't think all the decisions were made by her. Yeah. I also understand that she's marrying into a family that has a lot of rules and a lot of expectations. So I'm sure that the wedding wasn't all like. There's a lot of customs and a lot of like traditions that involve a royal wedding, that are
Yeah.
involved in a royal wedding that she doesn't have control over, right? If she's
Yeah.
marrying a prince, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like it's very, very, very just over the top and doesn't need to be that. Like, you ain't really royalty. You know what I mean? Like, royalty.
Married into it, yeah.
Yeah, no, not even that. I mean, like, the UK, they're run by a government.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
They're paid
like,
off of, like, we technically fund, their lifestyle,
Yeah.
too, in the wedding itself, right? Canadians, if you pay taxes, it goes straight to her $300,000 dress, just so you know. With all that aside, I think the best thing out of this whole, like, really hyped up event that really didn't, no one really had to wake up at 4 o'clock for this. I mean, you could find the video anywhere now.
Yeah.
It's on BBC.
And they replayed it later on. Like,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of crazy to me. But my favorite thing was just the fact that, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of memes about this, but the fact that she's a divorcee, she's...
Oh, I heard about that. Like, she's
Yeah.
older than him.
Yeah,
she's already divorced. Like, people were saying... I remember my cousin. I'm shocked. I was shocked when she told me this because she's only 12 turning 13.
Okay.
She was like, I don't like her. And I was like, why? And she was like, she's an actress. She looks cool.
Yeah.
She's from Canada. Like, it's all good.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, she's older than him, and she's only 30 something, and she's already divorced. And I was like,
oh my god.
I was like, girl, you need to get that mindset a little. You need to fix that mindset. And I mean, I'm sure it's not her. I'm sure it's not her. Like, I'm pretty sure it's hearing the mindset of other adults.
And she's repeating.
And she's repeating it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that mentality, like that we have in a lot of, communities.
Yeah.
Whether Muslim or like non-Muslim, like a lot of like traditional communities, where they think that if you're divorced, that if a woman's divorced, then it's over for her.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that mentality needs to change.
Yeah. And I think it will. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so glad that she represents what she does. Like, I don't know if you know, but she was a Deal or No Deal girl before.
What?
The day she had the suitcase
No
and everything.
way.
Yeah. So
Good
like,
for you, Megan.
Exactly.
What?
And there was like that picture going out about her, like, I think she's like maybe a teenager, but she's sitting in front of the
I saw that. Yeah.
Like, stuff like that makes me so happy. And she's a woman of color. Like, the fact that she went through all of that, but she was still able to get where she is now.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling my coworker the other day, like, I love when moments like this happen, because when younger girls dream about this kind of stuff, because they're younger girls, it's not so unattainable as it was before, right? And just to see, like, even like the church that they had the ceremony was filled with other people of color too. Like, Priyanka Chopra was there.
Oh, Priyanka Chopra looked so good. Priyanka Chopra's dress, you didn't like it? I thought she looked so beautiful. You didn't like it? No, Razia, come on.
Okay, can we agree that Amal Clooney looked the best?
Okay, she looked beautiful. She always looks beautiful though.
Okay. Well, I love the yellow.
As does Priyanka Chopra, but you didn't like her. You didn't like her dress, but she looked so. I loved her haircut. First of all,
was it?
It's short.
Is it really, really short?
No, it's like almost shoulder length.
Okay.
Kind of like straight cut.
Okay.
And then she was wearing a really nice sparkly dress.
You're thinking of the evening outfit.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're thinking of what she wore to the reception?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember that dress.
Yeah, that was not.
Oh, I don't remember it.
I was like, really, Iman? Hold on.
You were like questioning my taste.
Yes, I saw her at the
that
evening.
was beautiful.
She looked like her own princess.
Oh, I see it. No,
yes.
I don't like that. No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I don't know if you you could look at her heels. I don't know if this picture will show it, but it's see through. Like, you can see.
Oh, that's Amal Clooney.
Yeah.
Oh, why did they do that?
I don't like.
I hate when they do that.
I don't like that you can see her toes and that they're painted. And
oh.
stuff. Like that it really turned me off to the whole.
I feel like the suit is okay, but I don't like the hat.
I think there's so many things. Like, I don't know.
I just don't like the hats in general. I really don't like those hats. Like,
I think the way Amal does it and like a few other people, I think it suited their outfits. But this is a little. I felt like she went a little too dramatic.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That was cute. Yeah, your thing is touchscreen. Oops.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
It's okay. No, but I saw this after the fact, and I was like, yep. Yeah, that's how you should have looked. I wanted her hair down for the reception.
Yeah, she looks so beautiful.
But yeah,
I love Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah, she was great. She looks great there. But anyways, and Serena Williams was there. I loved how she looked too.
Oh yeah, Serena Williams was there.
Oprah for some reason was there. I was like, wait, how does she know?
Oprah was there, yeah. But Oprah's like one of the richest
She was just there
in the world.
She's just there.
I feel like you can't not invite Oprah. Like
just by association, anyone gets married. Oprah's coming. But I don't know if you've heard, but was it last night or the night before? So today's what, May 26th. I think on the 24th night there was that bomb blast. Did you hear that happened in Mississauga?
Okay, I heard about it, but I'm kind of confused. Like, what happened?
So I don't know the full details myself. I mean, we can like look it up right now. But I know what happened was that it was basically this Indian restaurant in Mississauga.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few like birthday parties happening, and someone had thrown in a bomb, and it exploded. I was just listening to Razamoka, and they said a lot of the people were in critical like condition, and they went to trauma centers, but I don't
understand why this isn't more like talked about.
Yes.
Is this weird? Like, is it just me?
No,
am I just not paying attention?
It's not in a lot of media, but a lot of people I know. Like,
I mean, like people are talking about it, but like, why is it not in the media? Why isn't it on the news? I'm confused. This is in the GTA.
I guess because the sad reality is I think that a lot of people are saying that it's not a terrorist attack necessarily, and that it was just like something like not a fluke incident, but something that probably might have to do with a business or a personal conflict kind of thing. So that's why it's not gaining as much attention as it would. But nevertheless, like
it's still a bomb.
When I first heard that it happened, I kind of like. It's sad that it's this way. We're like super desensitized to news like this.
Yeah.
But Razamoka were just talking about it, and it was only when I heard like the street, like the intersection, like where it happened, I realized like it clicked in that's in Ontario, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then started listening, which is so bad.
Like, because we don't like usually things don't happen like things like this don't happen so close to home, and it's true what you said. Like we become so desensitized, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Because it really should, like, hit us every single time. Yeah. And it should,
Yeah. Anyways. And I mean, I think the wake-up call for people in Toronto, like, to kind of know that it's not just in America that these kind of things happen. Ever since that Young and Finch thing happened, it's kind of really...
That thing was so messed up.
Shaking people up. Do you know I work right on that corner, right? I work literally
what?
right at Young and Finch. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So when it first happened, like, a few people contacted me after work was done to say, because they know. But literally, if you look outside my building window, you saw like the whole strip of the street was like just filled with cop cars and like people like standbys like just looking at what's happening. A bunch of yellow tape for like days. It was Young was closed. It was crazy, just at the time. And we'll go back to the specific bombing that happened more recently, but. It was crazy. Like a lot of people in my workplace were out at lunch. It happened at 1:30, and a lot of us go out, especially on good days. Like that day was the first day I think that was like super sunny after the ice storm, after the windstorm. Like it was nice. So a lot of people go out for walks. As soon as I heard that it happened, like my manager came by she was clearly doing head count, and then that kind of freaked me out. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So our whole team kind of were like looking for each other to say, okay, who's here, who's not here, and like just the feeling of like not
knowing.
People are outside. It happened right in front of a Shoppers that people go to all the time.
Yeah.
And I literally just went yesterday to go buy some stuff, but so and we were just waiting for people to come back into the building to make sure, and for that whole period of like. There's 2 people left, there's 1 person left, and then finally, thankfully, everybody was safe. Yeah. But just that mood in the room when we all huddled into the lunchroom to kind of have, like, a little talk about, like, people weren't allowed to leave the building for a while until, like, the situation was under control. But just that I still remember that mood in the room, because I know that some people had seen the incident happen, were outside to see it, and some people, I know were helping, like, with CPR, stuff like that involved.
Wow.
Like, they never obviously said the specific names, but, like, just that mood in the room of, like, one of the managers at the time kind of giving it, like, a short spiel to say, like, I hope everyone's safe, that kind of stuff. That it was just so weird. Like, at a workplace, you should never feel like we're having a real code red kind of situation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, but it was so strange. And then, a few days after, we all kind of made a trek to the memorial to kind of put stuff there. And one of my coworkers was on CBC and stuff to kind of talk about, this is how we were affected, I guess. But it was ridiculous. Like, that close to home, it should never feel that way. Like, going out.
Yeah, no.
That day is just like, I don't ever want to feel like Young and Finch is a strange place to me. Like,
yeah, like not feeling safe.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Santa Fe? It was in Houston.
Lightly, but I didn't hear.
So there was a school shooting. This guy came in, and basically what I heard was there was an exchange student from, I think it was Pakistan.
Okay.
And she was there. She was almost finished her time there. I think she was going to go back to Pakistan in time for like the last little bit of Ramadan and eat. And apparently, I think he took a liking to her, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the students there. He took a liking to her, and she basically said no. And because of that, that's why he did the school shooting.
Oh my God.
Apparently, that was his motive.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, I just, because that's why I remembered it, because apparently with this guy with the van thing, the incident, he had the same kind of idea, like, women rejecting him. Like, he didn't understand why women were rejecting him and thought that
he needed to take it out on the world.
Yeah. So it's just baffling that type of mentality exists.
Yeah. No, and it's I find it so cowardly, and I think that if anything, it really, I mean, the Me Too movement is still kind of living on. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
But I think if there ever was a need for, to embrace feminism and to start thinking about things like that, incidents like this, if that doesn't wake up people, I don't understand. I don't understand why people don't see it as being an important thing.
And what's even, I think, more scary is that, like, there's a whole community of men online that think like this.
Yeah.
And, like, you'll never know who they are. You know what I mean?
No, I know. And it's like, they have a very cultish mentality. And for those who are listening who aren't necessarily aware, basically they're these group of men who kind of see, being rejected by women is their reason for acting out or having certain opinions.
Yeah,
about the
like
world.
they justify, like, any sort of violence or anger towards the world or women as, like, they think it's okay because they've been rejected, which is just like.
Yeah, it's actually pretty lame. Like,
like it's sad. It's very sad.
And they have they're almost proud about it. They call themselves incels, which is short for involuntary celibates.
Yeah.
Because they're and they're like, I've heard on even other podcasts of men who are more like, I guess, they're more active on social media about it versus kind of being violent about it. But their kind of view on the world is that, like, they kind of keep track of how many times they've been rejected and almost have like some of them have like a weird pride about it. I'm happy I remembered this, but did you watch Terry Crews was recently on The Daily Show? Did you
I did not see his interview, no.
No, so if you remember early on in the Me Too movement, he kind of came out about how he
was
so he was violated by one of his agents who had sexually harassed him, and his kind of view to the whole movement was important because it was a male perspective. He was talking about how the entertainment industry is toxic because it's affected him, but also to speak to about toxic masculinity on the whole, and that, like, he's had, he grew up in a household full of domestic violence. His father was really abusive towards his mom, and he was on The Daily Show recently to talk to Trevor Noah, and it was like a phenomenal interview. He's such a stand-up guy. Like, he is not afraid to, he's an artist as well as he's obviously a bodybuilder, and he's also an actor, and he does comedy. Like, he's so multi-talented and also really open about, being an artist and being an interior decorator, which I think is what he also does.
Oh, cool.
Like, he's not, do you know what I'm saying? That those are typically feminine things to do, and he's, like, super proud about talking about stuff like that. And he's not afraid. But anyways, in the interview, Trevor Noah asked him, and this is kind of just on the incel subject, is that Trevor Noah asked him, like, if there's anything that you could tell young men now to kind of fix this issue of the perception of masculinity, what would you say? And I think he said, and it's been my favorite thing, like, since he said it, is that it's impossible to love someone and control them at the same time. And
that's a good point.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it seems so simple, but
yeah, it should be, right?
Yeah.
But
it was just it was so poignant, like, just how he almost, like, was ready to answer that question. That I told you I had, like, this one topic that I wanted to talk to you about, because again, I think that you would be super interested in it and be super opinionated about. Mm-hmm. And you're like one of the only other people I know or that I'm friends with that has kind of the background of like 90s music like I do. I grew up around it because I have like a bunch of older siblings. Yeah. And so I had my exposure through there. But I wanted to talk about, like, I miss girl bands. Like, I miss groups like Destiny's Child.
Oh, yes.
Spice Girls.
Oh.
Like, I used to
I
listened to their albums, like, nonstop when I first started. And, like, I don't know. Like,
do you remember S Club 7?
Yes. I remember
I loved
there's only
S
one
Club
song
7.
and one, like, music video by them that is, like, in a... They're like a
S
desert.
Club Party.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you were so
I loved S Club. You don't understand. As a child, because I'm the oldest in my family, right? It's only me and my brother, but like I have older cousins, so whenever they would be listening to music, me and my brother would always be like, kind of like, you know, with them, listening along and stuff like that. So my cousin loves Spice Girls and S Club 7, and I would always watch with her, and I loved them. Like, we had the DVD with all their music videos and stuff. But S Club 7 was amazing. Spice Girls, Destiny's Child, like,
and TLC, the other
TLC. Oh, I was in grade 1 singing No Scrubs with my chest. Oh. You don't understand. My chest. No, I was in grade 1. I didn't have any scrubs coming at me, but I was still singing that song with my chest.
You're so cute. Oh my god. No, I remember. Oh my gosh. What frustrated me too is that I kind of like and I don't know if you noticed this, but when we got older, and like especially when we got into high school in the last few years, 90s music has kind of rose up again. Yeah. And it's frustrated me that people have been like, did you hear this new song? Or like, I just started getting into this music. And I'm like, I've been singing this for years. I know. Don't tell me that you just learned the lyrics.
Sometimes, and sometimes I feel like when I speak to people, I think that everybody has this knowledge, of this music. Exactly. So I'll be like, oh, like if a song plays like in a store or something, and I'm like, oh my god, I love this song, and I'll like sing along, and they're like, what's this? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What's this? Yeah. Like, some people don't know who Ashanti and Ja Rule is. Like, you know what I mean? God. It just makes me so upset. I love that. Okay. Speaking of Ashanti and Ja Rule, did you hear their version of "Helpless" on the oh my god, what's it called? On the mixtape of that play. What's it called?
Is it Hamilton?
Hamilton. Have you heard the Hamilton mixtape?
No, I haven't.
Razia!
I know. Because my thing is, I've always wanted to kind of see the thing in person, even though that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. No, but the mixtape. Okay, so
I still didn't know. First of all, I didn't know she was still making music. Otherwise, I would have been on that.
I mean, Ashanti, not really, but like, no. But they made a mixtape, and so it's like it's not all the songs, but majority of like the big songs from the original play. Right. But it's all sung by like all these artists that you know. So like Sia, Usher, Ja Rule, Ashanti. Oh my God. Jimmy Fallon is on one of the tracks.
Okay.
What's his name? I have his face in my mind.
James Corden, is he on it?
No. Oh my God. John Legend. John Legend's on it. Wiz Khalifa's on it. What's his face? Kanan is on it.
My God.
Kanan, where's Kanan now?
Yeah, exactly. That's my question.
It's such. I love that mixtape.
That's crazy.
I love it.
Man, they're getting me hyped. I need to watch it.
You need to listen to it. But I really want to see Hamilton as well. I'm not financially capable of watching Hamilton.
I know it's coming to Canada, but I'm like, the prices are gonna be ridiculous.
But it's not the same cast either.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, no, even
which is upsetting.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
I wanna see the original cast.
Yeah, well,
but you can't.
We're really sad.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I miss the days of like, again, kind of going back to like Childish Gambino bit of like waiting for the next music video that's gonna come out with the next album. I used to know like Destiny's Child, that album. I probably know that album better than any other soundtrack or album out there from anybody, even recent artists. Yeah. Like, I used to know, like, by numbers, like, which song was each. My God. Because my sister would play, the thing with my family is that we used to often play music while we're cleaning up the house or on the weekend, so it was always on. And I had certain favorites. Like, I liked, Remember Independent Woman?
Oh, yes.
But there's like the 2 versions.
Oh, part 1 and part 2, right?
Yeah. Part 2 because that was a weirder version. Like it has like almost a broken down background sound. I don't know if you remember.
I can't remember part 2.
Yeah, that was my favorite. So it used to be like that one. I know what number it is, and we had like the weird old like sound system.
I love Independent Woman. Of course, I love Survivor.
The one that's really underrated is do you know Girls, the song? I'm not gonna sing it because we're recording, but hold on, I'll search it up. But keep going. Hold on.
An unpopular opinion. I love Cater to You. I know, like, do you remember Cater to You?
I do because it's spelled with the 2 in the
yes. I actually like the song. I mean, I don't really agree with the message as much because y'all can do your things yourself. But like, I love the melody of the song, and I just love. Oh, and I love oh my god, I blanked on the name. That's really upsetting.
It's okay. I think Survivor is like a really overrated song.
Survivor is overrated. Soldier.
This is Girl. I love this song. And this is, talk about a good message. Oh my god, look, she looks so young.
Oh my god.
They all look so young, what the hell?
I miss them. Bootylicious. I love Bootylicious.
That video.
Oh, the production.
Okay, play the song, please.
Damn.
Hold on. This is not gonna end. Oh my god, the whole song is a story.
Oh my god, why do I not know this song?
Oh my god, hey mom!
Why do I not know this song?
Oh man. You need to like.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to, because I feel like sometimes like I know the song but not well because I was really young and maybe I just forgot it and I haven't listened to it in a long time.
And to be honest, this is again like I say it's underrated because it was one of like the songs that were on the album, but not
it wasn't like the top.
It wasn't a feature or anything. Yeah. But I love the song. Like I remember when I was old enough. Yeah, it's one of the songs where like when you watched it again when you were a teenager, or a little older, you're like that has a message. Yeah. It's talking about something serious. It's like when you watch or listen to Shaggy's
It Wasn't Me?
Yeah, and then you listen to it when you're older, you're like, what the hell was I singing when I was 6?
Yeah.
This is bad. Yeah. But oh my gosh. Yeah. Shaggy was another.
Oh, Say My Name. Say My Name is my favorite.
Oh, Bills.
Bills?
Oh, is great. Bills is one of the best, I think.
I love Bills.
This is one of the
so sassy. I love it.
I miss it. And were you big on Spice Girls? Did you know like a lot of their music?
I think I was a little too young. Like that's the thing. Like I was big on them, but when I was younger, but it's been so long. So I only remember the really big hits. I don't remember all their songs.
Okay, so first 2 of my favorites, Wannabe.
Okay, Wannabe, of course.
And Say You'll Be There.
I'm pretty sure I know Say You'll Be There.
Okay, and that video was crazy for me when I was young. I was like, what do you mean?
Stop, I know Stop, of course.
Stop's great. It's with the
Spice Up Your Life.
You had to learn the hand movements to stop, and you had to do it in your car.
Yeah. Spice Up Your Life, of course.
Yeah, oh my god, that music video is a little embarrassing if you watch it again. To Become One, that's like one of their only slow songs. I don't remember Holler.
Yeah, me neither.
Some of these I have to... Okay, well, that's not the slow.
Do you know Amine?
No, I don't.
Oh, he's a great artist.
Oh, okay, wait, let's track back a second. You saw that Chris Brown song that we just saw in the thumbnail? Is that you wanted to talk about that?
Oh, yeah! Okay, it's called, oh, shoot, what is it called? It's by his name is Lil Dicky.
Yeah, okay.
And Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And the reason why, I can't believe you haven't heard about it. Freaky Friday. So basically the whole premise of the video is like Freaky Friday so he switches him and Chris Brown go to a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, of course.
or something like that, and they open the cookie and then they switch bodies. So Lil Dicky's in Chris Brown's body and Chris Brown's in Lil Dicky's body, right?
Okay.
So the music video is Chris Brown's, so like even though Lil Dicky's in Chris Brown's body, it's still Chris Brown's voice, right?
Got it.
And then Lil Dicky's still Lil Dicky's voice.
Yep.
But so in Chris Brown's body, Lil Dicky goes, Can I say the N word? And then he goes, N word. But it's still Chris Brown's voice, but it's, get it?
Yeah, I get it.
So it's like he really wanted to say that, you know? So there's this whole talk about like, it's just a way for a white guy to say that N word.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
if he's only swapped with a body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it was just controversial. Like you could watch. Well, I don't think we should play it out loud in the thing, but like
just people walk by where we're sitting. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though. It kind of upsets me that the song is a little it's a little catchy.
Well, because are you singing it and you're like, I feel guilty?
Yeah, like, it's catchy, I'm not gonna lie. But, like, it's kind of, yeah. But, yeah, it was a little bit controversial just because of that part.
One thing, since we're almost at the close of this.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it, and I'm ready to talk about it.
Okay, just because we're already on the topic of, like, music and controversial crap that's happened.
Oh, dear God.
So, I mean, I don't even have to fill in the audience about this crap, but, I mean, he was in the TMZ offices, I guess, and there was an interview that happened where he said a wonderful thing that, you know, slavery was a choice. And, I mean, I've heard a lot of things about what had happened in the context of the situation, but I want to hear, because you're already, like, fired up about it, I want to hear everything.
Okay, so, like, I have a lot of opinions about Kanye West. Yeah. Like,
who doesn't, really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I think at the same time, as an individual, as a person who doesn't know Kanye West, the fact that I have a lot of opinions about Kanye West, I feel like, you know, it's not relevant to Kanye West. Mm-hmm. Kanye West don't care about my opinions, but I'm still going to talk about it because he made me mad. So, first of all, Kanye West makes great music.
Yeah, you can't deny that.
You can't deny that. Kanye West makes great music. He has always made great music.
Always.
I mean, you can argue that maybe his music in the past is better than his music now, but, like, regardless, people still listen to his music. He's one of the most known hip-hop artists in the world.
And I think despite however his career ends or doesn't end or whatever, he leaves a legacy. Like,
everybody's always going to know who Kanye West is.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, I mean, people say that, like, after, and this is the thing I don't like what people talk about Kanye West, is that when he does something, they immediately start talking about his, like, mental health and his mental state. And I don't think that's for anybody to talk about. You don't know, and it's easy to call someone crazy, you know what I mean? Just because you don't agree with someone, you're like, okay, that guy is not stable. Yeah. And I think that it was a good point that his wife Kim Kardashian brought up as well. I'm not a Kardashian fan, but she brought up a good point. Like, you don't just poke at someone's mental health. Like, you can't just call someone crazy. Mental health isn't something to joke about. And I agree with her. Like, you can't just say that. But at the same time, I think that he doesn't understand. I don't know if he doesn't understand or he doesn't care about the repercussions of what he says. Because he knows who he is. Kanye knows who he is. Kanye knows he's Kanye. If anybody knows who Kanye is, it's Kanye, right? Exactly. Kanye loves himself.
He loves himself.
And I feel like someone who's so successful and so famous and knows how famous he is should also know that whatever he says, no matter what it is going to impact a huge audience. Mm-hmm. And so when you go around as a black man saying that slavery was a choice, he literally said, you were there 400 years, that's a choice.
Yeah.
No, that is not, honey.
And it's so problematic.
It's problematic. Like, you have to take into the fact that they were taken without a choice, and then they were systematically oppressed, and then their choice was taken, like, the fact that their choice was taken away from them through systematic oppression. So even if they had the choice to leave, sometimes people didn't want to leave because they didn't know any other way.
Exactly.
So that there's no choice there. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it just makes you so mad. Yeah. because even though there's a lot of people who have come out and condemned Kanye for what he said, there are still going to be a group of people who love Kanye who are going to think that way now.
Yeah.
Because he said it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way with, like, I mean, Trump's campaign is, like, the perfect example of this, of, you know, all you need is someone with enough reach, with enough power to say something stupid, like, I mean, with, like, everything that comes out of Trump's mouth, even to, again, people like us might seem, like, obviously racist or obviously
and for some people it's
there's some people that are like, I've been thinking it forever, thank God he said
someone
exactly like that. So it's that's what's, you know, I think what you're saying is absolutely true. I think he doesn't fully see the impact of what he's saying,
which really doesn't make sense to me, because you have to see the impact, like, you know, like, if you have a show, if you sell out a show, obviously you're going to make an impact. You sell out shows around the world. You think what you say isn't going to affect the people that like you. And the fact that I don't know if they're actually friends, but, like, colleagues and friends have come and said something to you, you should kind of take a hint there, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the Kardashians are doing, but do they feel something? Like, can someone say something? Yeah. Like, and I don't know what Trump did for him to get support from Kanye. Yeah. But it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that relationship's so interesting. And
it's so weird. And I don't know, my brother said something interesting to me, because my brother loves Kanye. Yeah. He's, first of all, the first thing my brother said was, this is whack, but I'm still not going to stop listening to his music. And I was like, okay. But the second thing he said was, he said either Kanye has gone, like, is like, I don't want to say gone insane, because again, that's another thing, that's a poke at mental health, but like, either Kanye has flipped to a different mindset, or he is making the best marketing decision he's ever made in his life. Mm-hmm. And because Kanye is coming out with a new album.
Several albums.
So my brother is saying, my brother thought that maybe this is a way for him to draw in an audience he doesn't usually reach. And also, didn't you hear Kanye wants to run for president?
Yeah,
that was a thing in the past. Yeah. So is this a political move? Who knows? Is he trying to cozy up to the president and then take his spot? Yeah. I don't know.
I think since the beginning of Kanye's career, though, and I think for me, it was almost shocking that how shocked people were by what he said. Obviously, I mean, the words he was saying were ridiculous, but if you've been following him since the beginning of his career, you know that it's been part of his career to be controversial.
Yeah, no, always. He's always been that way, but it's never been, like, it's always been controversial, but I don't think it's ever been this, like, bad. Yeah. It's never been this bad. Yeah. And
I think it has to do with our current, like, cultural climate. Like, we're a lot more sensitive to things that are even borderline racist, right? Like, we'll call it out. Yeah. So I think because of that, though, I think it's because of, like, the kind of space we're in right now. But what I had heard about that interview is that it was a much longer interview, right? There's a lot of things that they were discussing prior to the one he made that really awful statement. Was that he was saying I think he went through lipo recently, or some sort of intense surgery where he had to go, to recover from, he had to take opioids.
Oh, okay.
To kind of, I guess, get through the healing process or whatever. That's what he was prescribed, and sometimes when that happens through surgeries, is that you can get addicted to your medication. Yeah. So I think, and this has happened before. Of he went through a similar thing. He, got caught up with an addiction, and the second he was off meds is when he started spewing out crap like this before. So there's been incidences before, and so a lot of people, when they heard this, they made sure that the context was that, okay, it might be another one of these. And again, so, like, and that was a twofold thing, right? Of, like, again, kind of saying, well, he's a crazy guy, don't take whatever he says for, like, as
but at the same time, regardless, he said what he said, you know what I mean?
Exactly, but and the other fold was that, like, well, maybe actually, we should be more cognizant of, like, maybe he's really actually not in the right state of mind to understand what he's saying. Because I think the piece that was important about the interview was that first bit of him saying, like, I'm trying to get off meds because I don't want to feel like I'm dependent on them. And I feel actually bad for him, because it's a sick cycle, right? Like, the second you get off your meds, because you think that, because the meds are working, you feel fine, so you get off them. But then the second that you start saying stuff like that, and the world starts looking at you weird, you're gonna get back on them. And it's just like a cycle. Awful, and I feel bad for him in that sense, and he's also kind of driving himself up a wall stress-wise with like, he's not just doing his own album, he's also helping, like, 4 other artists. I'm pretty sure there's another album he's doing with Kid Cudi, and then there's 3 other ones he's helping to produce. Right?
Yeah, and if that's the case, if it's actually, like, a serious mental issue, or if it's a serious, like, addiction, then people should, like, I feel like it's, regardless of how if it's public knowledge or not, like, I hope that there's someone out there supporting him and helping him. Yeah. I mean, like, it would be great for the public to know if that's actually the case, because I feel like people would be a lot more supportive. But at the same time, sometimes people don't want the public to know, because it's not really we don't need to know. It's not our issue. It's not our business. So
who is Kanye's PR team? That's my question. Like,
I have no idea. I don't know if I don't think he can be controlled. But honestly, like, if that's truly the case, I hope he's getting the support that he needs, because I mean, Lord knows his family is always in some sort of drama. Yeah, exactly. Like, and family meaning his marriage. His family he's married into. All has their own drama. So, like, I hope that they're not so caught up in their own issues that, you know what I mean, that they're supporting him. He gets the support. Stability at least, like, because it doesn't regardless if it's from his wife, if like he finds supports through his kids, through a friend, hopefully someone is.
His kids are cute.
His kids are so cute. I know. Also, they're very cute.
I like they look like a good mix of both Kim and Kanye.
Well, so that was our first episode of the Talkaholics podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed it. It was nerve-wracking for us.
Yeah, man. Even hearing it back is like another.
Yeah, when you listen to yourself, you're kind of like, oh.
All the insecurities.
Yeah. But, like we said, we hope you guys enjoy, and we hope that you guys subscribe to our channel wherever you do listen to your podcast. And do not worry, we will expand our reach, hopefully, to other places where podcasts are available to upload.
So for the time being, I think we're on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud. And so hopefully iTunes is another thing, Spotify is another thing. So down the road you'll get updates and hopefully be able to be at places you like to listen to your music and podcasts on.
Exactly. So, hold on, I'm trying to find the name of our Instagram. Okay.
Go ahead.
So, along with subscribing to our podcast channels, you can also follow us on the social medias. So we have Instagram at Talkaholics Pod. So it's Talkaholics Pod. And we also have a Gmail account. That's all our social medias.
If you want to follow us there.
If you guys want to email us any suggestions or have any questions, you can email us at talkaholicspod@gmail.com. Other than that,
leave a comment on our Instagram page too. We'll be posting, I think, each time or every few times that we do post an episode or so. So let us know what you think, and we're really, really curious to hear from you.
Yeah, and we hope to see you guys next time on the Talkaholics podcast.
Okay.
Iman and Razia signing out.
Bye.
Bye.